This is Uzaki-Chan. Uzaki-Chan from the anime Uzaki-Chan Wants to Hang Out. Uzaki-Chan is a 19-year-old girl, 20 in some parts of the manga, I believe. And she's in trouble because she's a small person with the big titties. Now, I don't have a problem with this because of her age. However, I do have a problem with other people. This whole thing just brought up the conversation for me of why I can't trust influencers anymore. And why you shouldn't, and why they're hypocritical assholes that only talk when they can be right. And it's so irritating. So irritating. Also, if you hear somebody in the background, Bradley's here. So, hi Bradley.
I like how you never say my name correctly.
It's funny that way.
I cut my nail wrong. I cut my toenail wrong, so it's...
Hi guys, it's Luna and welcome back to another video. There's a car rumbling, I can hear it. But as I said before, today we're talking about Uzaki-Chan and the shit behind her and why I have trust issues with other people and why I don't like people on the internet and I don't go on Twitter anymore like that because it's so toxic and it hurts. Now, Uzaki-Chan has been a problem for a while now. I think it's been some weeks. I've just been seeing memes about her. I didn't know who the bitch was. The animes, like her anime, I don't watch them. It's just a bunch of fan service and big boobs, fun tea. If I'm cute, I can get away with making more money. Boobs? Look at my boobs. That's a lot for me. And I can't think of the word. So let's just go with quality control. The characters are bland. They're nothing. They're obvious, normal, vomit-inducing tropes that have been played out throughout fucking the entire lifespan of anime and honestly cartoons in general. It's just boring to me. I looked at it once and was like, no, I'm not watching this. Not even for research purposes. I'll watch maybe clips online. That's all you're getting from me. However, for some reason, out of the millions of animes that are literally just like this one in particular has sparked up a old debate and conversation about young looking people in anime and should you just be giving people that basically look like whoever's version really of a child with big boobs. Should you be doing that? Should that be appropriate? Is that weird? And also the conversation of body shape in anime, and it's not a regular thing to see a small waisted normal sized girl with huge boobs where she could choke on them if she looks down. And with both of these arguments, you kind of have to take them apart and really digest what's going on in each of them and why people would be mad about them and why this has been debates for years. This isn't just coming up now. People have been talking about this type of shit for years. I wanted to give my opinion on it because I watched one video just like, nah, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna tell you what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna use the excuse, well, it's Japan, so it's different, right? Japanese people are not aliens. It is a different culture, sure. It is not that different of a culture. People are acting like this used to be or was recently a third world country or something. Well, it's Japan. It's a totally different culture, so that's looked at as normal. That's a lie. Otakus and people that like anime aren't looked at as normal. Just now it's becoming popular, but it wasn't looked at as normal. You were a weirdo. In those cases. So we're not gonna say, well, it's just normal there. It's not. It's what sells. Here, there, everywhere, honestly. In culture, period, this thought of what is attractive and sexy has changed throughout the years. At one point, especially in America, it was a tall, thin woman with pancake ass, but a little bit of like a little bit of fat. Like they may have eaten a green or some black-eyed peas or some cornbread once in their life, or they smelled it, they inhaled it, so they got like a little bit of butt, but not really enough to warrant being called an ass, let alone a fat ass, if that makes sense. And a thin waist and just again a little bit of boob, like they inhaled good seasoned food but couldn't really digest it because of how they'll be judged. Like they went in the ghetto like once, and so they got a little bit of boob and a little bit of a waist. That's all it took before. That was a normal, healthy, attractive girl at one point in most countries, and it still is in some other countries. But nowadays a lot of our surroundings have changed to where we're all kind of used to, oh, she got the ass, she got all of that, she just hourglass figure type people. The thickums, as you would call them. And yes, short girls with thick bodies or even big boobs and just a little bit of an ass, they exist. However, that is not looked at as normal. Yes, a lot of Asian people, and I mean, a lot of Asian girls, most Asian girls, are short people, and some of them have bodies, some of them don't, some of them look attractive, some people are taller, they look more normal. Yes, that exists. I am aware that that could be what it is. Okay, I don't know what I was trying to say here. My point of what I was trying to say was that, sure, you can find short people in Japan, but you're not gonna find just short bitches with big tits. That's not realistic. Fat doesn't just distribute to everybody like that. Trust me, if it did, if we all could be like that, I think it'd be a better life for everyone. But that's not how bodies work, is my point. It's just a select few people who look like that, and to some people that's the ideal body. That's kind of the point of like why people feel like it might be a little bit unrealistic, because everybody doesn't have that. Some people are flat chested, some people have their fat distributed proportionally, some people have their fat distributed unproportionally. Take me for example. I am 5'7". I got the thighs, but it's a lot. I got a fat ass, but it's not like your depiction of a fat ass. It's not even that. It's like a box. It's like a box that jiggles. It's hard to explain. I'm not built like you would think someone that's a bit bigger but has all the fat in the right places would look. I look like a normal person with that type of body type, which doesn't look appealing to everyone. That's the point. All girls with big boobs don't have them looking like that. All girls with big boobs don't have small waist. All girls with big boobs don't have ass. Some do have ass. It's just different for everybody. This is just the ideal look of someone that's short, petite, cute, with big boobs. That's all I was trying to say. Again, if you like anime, if you like this, yes, that's how you are. Like, you're used to seeing people like that. Like, when I see her, I'm like, okay, that's another big boob, shy, maybe a little bit more gung-ho, independent type anime person, because that's what I'm used to. But an example is my friend, one of my friends, isn't into that type of stuff. They're into sports. They grew up normal. Why they're hanging out with us, we don't know. But they grew up normal. That's not normal to them. Any anime isn't normal to them. That's just weird weeb shit. They don't know. They're not used to that. Do you get what I'm saying? So the argument of like, well, because it's Japanese. No, you can make the argument that some Japanese people who grew up liking that stuff would enjoy that or see that as normal. Most of them wouldn't. They wouldn't care because she's of age. That's the most important thing. That's why I said who she was, the anime she is from, and her age. She is 19 years old. No one should care.
She's a college student.
I feel like we should be more bothered that she came from such a basic anime that is not even really worth watching. It's not anything different from the thousands like it. It's just a copycat anime. It's not even a good representation of the trope. I've seen just the thickest, shortest people you've ever seen in your life when it comes to anime. I keep losing track of what I'm saying. My point is, the basic ass anime, I feel like people should be more mad that this shit is still being pumped out. So when it comes to characters that are specifically younger looking, I don't care how old they are, I don't care how they look. My first thing that I look at specifically is the art style consistent? She's not the only girl character. Most of them look the exact same way she does. All the older characters look like they're teenagers, and all of the younger, shorter, cuter characters, mainly the women, all look like they are like in middle school. That's just a stylistic choice by that person, but they make it very clear. They were high school friends, or from what I see on the Wikipedia, she met up with her high school friends, but she's in college. They made it clear. So at that point, I'm like, okay, well, that's a stylistic choice. She's over the age. What's the argument? I don't understand. I want to be right here, but I don't want to be right here, but I don't want to be consistent in my morals or my beliefs, but I don't care if they made her have a big head, if they did the holic type shit where like they have long bodies with really small heads and bigger feet and arms. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's like saying, oh, chibis are supposed to be like babies. That doesn't make any sense. Of course they're not. They're just smaller characters. It's pretty much the exact same thing. I don't know why people try to ignore that argument. Will still just be like, the short characters, they're kids. kids. It's like, no. But my point is, there are a lot of American-based characters that are older than they look, but it's a stylistic choice. It's not really a thing of, oh, well, they're short, so they have to be children. Again, chibi drawings are an example. Those are short, unrealistic, proportioned characters. Does it have to be drastically unrealistic for it to be a character or appropriate? No. As long as you set the natural boundaries to that world, it should just disappear in your mind that they look the way they look, because this is not an abnormal thing for animation ever in life. It's not a cultural thing specifically. The style is, but the thought that younger people with big boobs is a normal thing there, it's not. It's more normal in the art and anime community specifically. Because again, to outward people who don't like anime and shit, that's weird. You're weird, you're weeby, no one's here for that. And in Japan, it was, you're an otaku, you got some problems, sir. It's too much. It's not that serious, it's just a cartoon type thing. You can make an argument if you go deeply into both cultures, but it's just not a good argument in my opinion. It's just simple, the boundary set up to where this is an adult. She may look like a bean. She could be a bean. It could be Veggie Tales and she could be lima beans. It doesn't matter. If I set her up as a lima bean, but I tell you, this is an 18-year-old girl. She graduated high school. She is living her best life. You're not gonna think, well, she's a lima bean. Lima beans don't look like that, or lima beans don't have extra arms and limbs. Lima beans don't. You're not gonna say that because it sounds crazy. So apply even just Veggie Tales. Apply period Veggie Tales to, what's her name? Yuka, the big boobed girl. Apply it to that and you might actually understand more why a lot of people just don't care. This isn't that serious, nor is that bad, nor is it a betrayal of a child, nor anything like that. None of that is going on. You're just reaching as far as you can. Here's why I encourage you not to trust any influencer, including me, whether they're on YouTube, Instagram. Don't trust anything they say. They're all full of shit. Okay? They're all full of the most shit, and they only say shit when they know they can get brownie points for it. Lately, there are two people I'm following that are irritating me because lately all they want to do is talk about things they know are already seen as morally right. They don't go into details on why it's morally right. They don't explain it. They're basically those two bitches that are just like, I'm offended, or this is a bad thing. And though it's true, you're like, well, I don't understand that, but what? It doesn't matter. It's a bad thing. If you're stupid, if you don't understand this, without actually explaining why that's a bad thing. Now, why they're doing that, I know for a fact, it's because they don't know. Because they just know this is what's good to say at the time, which is the most dangerous thing you can do. Don't say something because you know it's right at the time. Even if it's a common knowledge thing, at least know. Because a lot of the time, the reason we're going through such a change in social climate is because that's what people kept doing, and then we got blackface allegations. And you're just like, nah, it's not true. And then you see yourself do it, and it's like, well, that's how it was at the time. Because at the time, no, I said anything, no, I cared. There had been a little bit of outrage, but those people were looked at as crazy, oversensitive, this, that, and the third. If you don't understand why something is bad, why people feel a certain way, don't do that. Look it up. Figure out why, maybe scientifically or morally, why people feel the way they feel, and then look at the opposite side. We learn this in school and then quickly forget it. There's always a counter argument. Even if the counter argument is literally, you're stupid. You have to listen to that counter argument, because then you might start listening and be like, actually, if you're saying scientifically that makes absolutely no sense, that actually might make, my argument is, well, everybody around me is saying that that's a good thing. Maybe I'm wrong on this. You don't know, because as long as you have the people behind you saying good job, kudos to you, you're not going to realize that you're being a hypocritical asshole. And I've been very frustrated with that type of thing, because this situation is the best example I can convey of that type of behavior. People are just like, of course this isn't okay. Just take the time to explain to them why. The weak bullshit arguments people have been making of why this isn't terrible are not good. Because it could simply be, instead of this outlandish, over-exaggerated shit, it could literally be she's 19 years old. She's not in high school. She's in college. She lives by herself. She's a grown adult. She can make her own decisions. It looks like that. There are a lot of short characters that are old, young. It goes in age range. The stylistic choice in the anime, this character is short with big boobs. And this character is short with big boobs. And all the girls kind of look very similar to the character we're mad at. So I think all the girls look like that. And all the guys look tall and like they're in high school. Like the actual age. The actual age this girl is. 19. They look like they're fresh out of high school. They just got out of high school. Like they turned 18 last year. But they still got their young looking face. It's as simple as that. And then any other argument can be brought down with actual knowledge and the actual reason. This isn't what this is. On Twitter specifically, but on other social media sites too. It's this thought that because I'm in the social right, I don't have to explain myself. You need to do. And it's like, or you could just tell them the reason. And then if they don't listen or they have a counter argument that maybe is just weak to you, whether it's scientifically or whatever, then it's like, okay, well, I can't help you because now you're either ignoring facts or you're not hearing my side or you don't have enough proof to where you can convince me that just use your brains is what I'm trying to say. This video's getting long. Just use your brains. This situation is thoroughly stupid. Now, personally, I'm not trying to say anything by this, but I saw this thing on Twitter and I'm a little bit concerned. It's a post about a show coming to Netflix in September called Cuties. Now, my problem isn't that the girls are doing what they're doing, because dance-based shows, fine, it's whatever. Just the posing in the picture I'm looking at right now that's an example of a conversation that really needs to be dug into, because it's not that they're doing what they're doing, that they're dancing, it's the positions they're in, what they're doing. I'm not saying anything. Who are your parents? That's all I'm gonna say.